we have ever said.
Which is good and bad.
Yes. We are starting off this season talking about dating, and we both brought some of our favorite dating stories. All funny, nothing serious.
Right.
Never serious. We took, I think, a couple month break off. I can't even remember the last time we put out an episode.
Right.
But yeah, we're here also filming with the news. So if we're acting more professional than usual, that's why. We're also we got new microphones, can you tell? And we're in a new space by my fireplace. And we're feeling good. Are you ready to kick off the dating episode?
I think I am.
All right, cool.
So, let me think of a way to start here. I graduated from high school in 1971, and I had a boyfriend for a while in high school.
Ooh.
And for a while. And just to set the scene for what the 70s were, because Hilary and I are going to talk about maybe the differences in our dating experiences between the 70s and the aughts? The aughts. The aughts when she was dating. Just to set the scene, it was a time of cultural upheaval. There was a feminist movement, the civil rights movement, the Vietnam War protests, the sexual revolution. And it was a very, very different time. There were big changes going on in our culture. And especially big changes for women and young women my age at the time. For example, we weren't allowed at my high school, and I think it's true probably across the country, to wear pants.
What?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Can you imagine?
No. I love pants.
We weren't allowed to wear pants until my senior year. So you had to wear a dress.
Didn't Annie wear a pantsuit to her job?
Exactly.
And it wasn't allowed?
My mother
a pantsuit
taught at Westbrook High School around that very time.
Yeah.
And she was among the first, if not the first, to dare to wear a pantsuit to teach. So, everything from clothing to on campus in colleges, usually men were not allowed in the female dorms and vice versa. That started to change in the early 70s. And so that had an
to visit?
impact. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they might have been able to visit, but they certainly were never, you could get kicked out of college if you got caught with a guy in your room after midnight.
No guy was worth that.
No guy would ever be worth that. So it was a very different time if you think about it in terms of your time frame and people going to college.
Yeah, there were men running all around my dorm. No problem.
Yeah.
Not my dorm, just the building.
And what were they doing?
Who knows?
So in high school, I had a boyfriend, and we were dating, going steady. I had his ring.
You had his ring?
I had his ring. And
wow.
He wore my ring. I'm just remembering this. He wore my class ring on his pinky.
Oh, that's
I don't think I'm accidentally lying.
You don't think you are?
No,
We're going to have to verify this in the diary.
I can text him tonight and find out
great.
if he remembers.
You're still texting your high school boyfriend?
I texted him last night to make sure that he was okay with me mentioning things. That I might mention.
Things.
Research.
Great.
Anyway, we were going steady. And I had his ring and he had my ring. And so that was about we saw each other once in a while and went places once in a while, but and that was probably pretty typical of when you were in high school.
Yeah, totally.
So talk a little bit about you in high school and dating.
So I didn't start dating till my senior year.
Late bloomer.
You could say that. Well, I had my crush that I had from when I was maybe 5 until
5.
Yeah, you didn't have a crush when you were 5?
No.
Yeah. So I had my crush, and then I finally, my senior year, I was like, oh, maybe I should date a boy.
Just like,
why not? And so, yeah, we were going steady for a full year, senior year. Then he broke up with me when I went to college and had the dorm room next to the dorm room you were at college.
He didn't, but you
No,
did.
no, I did. Sorry. Oh, God.
That confused
I
me.
might need more coffee.
Yes, you ended up in the dorm room next to mine at
Yeah, and he broke up with
University
me
of Southern
by
Maine.
texting me, I don't want to be with you no more. And that's a quote. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all. That's it.
Yeah.
That was the end of the year.
And that was
I don't
it?
want to be with you.
Did you ever see
no
him
more.
after that?
No. I don't think I ever did. I texted him a few times, maybe drunk in college, late at night, but no. Never,
Ooh, the
never
whole
saw him again.
the whole texting thing. I mean,
I know.
at least when I had a broken heart, I came and poured my heart out into my diary, and nobody else read it.
Yeah,
Or
know.
I wrote notes to my friends, or I cried to my friends. But texting it, which it can then be forever.
I know. Well,
and somebody-
that's more forever
somebody-
to me. I
Well,
don't
yeah,
have any of those texts.
I know, but
Maybe an old phone kind of in the basement somewhere.
right.
Has all my my sad texts with my high school boyfriend. Oh, God. I don't like thinking about that, actually.
Yeah,
They probably do have a phone down there somewhere someone
Yeah.
could find someday.
so it can be
Or
like-
old Facebook messages.
when you-
That's where the good stuff is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when
At least
you
for my age.
when you text somebody like that, I mean, then they can take it and say, look what she wrote to me, or they can forward it,
Yeah, screenshot it.
screenshot,
Put it on the internet.
No, I'd have a heart attack.
You're letting me put your diaries on the internet. Your anxiety is very weird.
Oh, so and then the whole phone thing. Okay, so I'm in high school.
Yeah.
And in college.
You would have been completely insufferable.
Well, I was on other levels. I know I was. I was just
No,
ridiculous.
I mean in a modern age, on the phone. Whew.
I went so far as to record telephone conversations with my high school boyfriend
On a what?
without telling him until the end of the conversation.
You still have those?
Yes, of course I
Can we
do.
play them in this episode?
I do have them on MP3 or 4
You do?
recordings.
I want to listen to them.
It's ridiculous.
Ooh, I bet
it's
they're
re-
so cringy.
They're cringy and but they're sweet too.
Yeah.
You know, they're cringy and sweet. Is that a
Yeah.
That sounds like a good combo.
Yeah. Cringy and sweet. The title of the episode.
There we go. It always comes up at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a little reel-to-reel tape recorder.
What's a reel-to-reel tape recorder? You laugh. I do not know.
R-E-E-L to R-E-E-L.
Thank you for spelling it. So then.
Well, I didn't want you to think it was R-E-E-L to R-E-A-L.
Okay, yeah.
I thought that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I had
They
an
should change the name. They should rebrand.
I started writing a book that was titled From Reel to Reel, but that's a whole other thing.
When?
Back in the 90s, because I wanted to, you know how I did all those Super 8 movies?
Yeah.
Well, I was writing a guide for other people to do their own family history movies, documentaries.
Oh,
So,
that's cool. There's still time. No one steal that idea. From reel to reel.
another good idea for this episode.
God, I know. There's so many titles coming out in the first 5 minutes. This is
So
great.
it's cringy to listen to that tape recording because
Have you sent them to your high school boyfriend?
no, but I may have to
You should now. I mean, now that it's on the pod,
now they've mentioned that
Yeah.
I did it.
he's gonna know.
Yeah, he'll know because
Then
I'll
he's
text
gonna
him
sue.
tonight and say what came up during the podcast while we were in front of news people.
Yeah.
So, but they're really sweet. But I just was so like, I don't know, giggly, foolish.
You're a teenage girl.
And it was, yeah, kind of like I
I'm
am
so
today.
happy I don't have recordings like that of me talking to my high school boyfriend. Ooh, it makes me cringe just thinking about it. I don't like it. Yikes.
Well, the same things happened though when we watched home movies together.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, I'm saying something sketchy, or
yeah, she was saying a lot of sketchy things.
Or something like, "Why did I say that?" Or "Look at so and so's face."
We found about 30 minutes where someone thought they turned the camera off, but it's just sitting on a on a table in the kitchen, and every one of my family members is going by saying the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. just black screen, and we sat and listened to the entire thing. It's like a little kid runs by and it's like, he bit me! And then a dad walks by and he's like, so-and-so bit so-and-so.
That's true. All right, back to the topic.
Okay, yeah.
So with telephone, so back then, back in 1970, the whole thing about phone calls was there was no such thing as an answering machine. Right?
Yeah.
There was no such thing as having, I forgot my train of thought. You were lucky if you had a second phone. Most people didn't have a second phone.
Wait, what? A second phone?
Like two phones in the house.
Oh, same
They'd
line.
be on the same line.
Yeah.
But Annie and Ozzy, my parents, got a princess-style phone. You know what I mean by that?
No, what's that? Sounds fancy.
I'm not good at drawing.
You don't have to draw. Why are you talking about?
I'm not good at explaining what a princess phone is. They have to insert a picture.
Okay. I'm just picturing a phone themed Princess Diana. That's what's in my head right now.
No, princess phone was supposedly a fancy phone.
We don't have to talk about it. Yeah.
All right. So Annie and Ozzy had one upstairs, and so I would go in their bedroom when they weren't there, and I would call my boyfriend, or he'd call me, and we'd just talk, and then downstairs, one of my parents would pick up the phone and basically be, "You need to get off the phone. I got to call Harold or whatever."
Yeah.
It's like, oh God. But conversely, if my father was out and trying to call home, and you had teenagers, the line was simply busy, and there was no way to get through.
Wait, okay, you act like I didn't experience this also in the 90s, when we had dial-up internet. No one could be getting through on our phone.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. It would be that,
Okay. Well, so back in the 70s, which apparently was more interesting in terms of the phone.
What?
Not what that meant.
Apparently more interesting. All right. But actually, I think you're right. So go on.
Annie had made we had a small kitchen, and Annie had this little half table that was attached to the wall, and it had a phone there. And nowadays...
Not a princess phone.
It wasn't a princess phone, it was on the wall.
Yeah.
And so, when the phone would ring, if I answered it downstairs, I didn't want anybody in the kitchen.
Oh.
Because I don't want anybody hearing me talk.
Oh, yeah.
One time this guy called me.
Were you talking trash about them? Is that what?
No, but I was just nervous about what I'm going to say. And this guy called me, asked me for a date, and I kept saying no, no, no. And he said, "Why are you saying no?" And I said, honest to God, quote, "Well, because I'm practicing saying no." It's like,
yes!
Well, practice
You go,
on
girl.
somebody else. I remember, that is one of the dumbest things I've ever said to somebody.
You're practicing saying no? That's a little too honest. Story of your life. Title of your memoir.
And another time, I think it was the same guy called me. I did end up dating him.
You did.
For a
Of
while.
course you did.
Yeah. And I
You
really
needed to practice saying no a little bit more.
He called me, and I had just secured another date, or I had another commitment. Anyway, he goes, because guys back then, at least my experience was, they'd call you on Friday night and say, "Want to go out tonight?"
Always Friday?
Well, no, not necessarily. Sometimes they'd call a few days before. But anyway, he called me, and he asked me for a date, and I had already secured a date with somebody else, I believe. I secured a date with somebody else. But this is what I said. I can't say it. I'm not going to swear on TV, but
why not?
on this. But I started going, like that.
What? You're not going to swear on TV, but you'll do that? Still,
substitute whatever bad word they want to, but I was saying
We can
that,
edit
and
like
then
some,
Father
like,
was
beats.
out in the kitchen and starts hollering at me, "Stop swearing!" And I'm like, you know, the old SWAT.
You just say things.
You know, just
You know the old SWAT? No one knows that.
You know the old SWAT. Like, you're just swatting somebody away. Like, you're not touching
The
them.
the silent.
The silent SWAT.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe my father was like getting involved in this conversation. Now, let me add, because it's embarrassing but funny, that this was in 1977, so I was 24.
Wait.
This ridiculous story that I.
So obviously, yelling and you just stop swearing. Why are you home swearing on? Why are you swearing at home on the phone?
I have no idea.
Nothing makes me happier than hearing stories about Ozzy being irritated with you, and in my head you're about 16, and then you're like, I was 45.
Oh, it's so immature. But I mean, and I did end up going. That was the same guy.
Are you crying?
It was the same guy. He comes to pick me up for a date. He was always dressed really well. At one time, he gave me a bottle of perfume when he arrived.
Ooh,
and he
what
come
kind?
in and like he was very. And he comes in, and he does the various small talk with people, and my parents or whatever. And we go out to the car, and his father's in the front seat, and his mother's in the back seat.
Wait, hold on. I zoned out when I came back in. Your date's parents were in the back seat of the car when he picked you up?
His father was in the front seat.
What?
The front passenger seat.
So you had to sit out back with his mom? What? How old were you?
Like 24.
What? They were supervising you? Did they go on the date?
They were not supervising me. It was in June.
They were like, I heard she swears a lot.
They were not. They were not supervising me, but it was Father's Day weekend. And so it was it was a chauffeur. He could take his parents out.
What?
And the date with me.
And that's how my mom met my dad.
No, that's not. It wasn't your
No, it's
dad.
not my dad.
It'd be really funny if it was.
Oh my god. That is amazing.
Oh, and then his mother said, I had dated him a few times before that.
What does it mean? You've gone on dates with him? You've just been at, was
we've
this
been out
like a third or fourth day? And
This was like a fifth date.
still, the parents should not be in the car.
Well, no, it was like so funny. And I had gone on the date. I had dated him over a period of like 2 years, on and off, 2 or 3 years, every once in a while. And so the mother says, "Oh, you'll have something to the effect of, you'll have to come see our house sometime." And my date goes, "Oh, she's been there." And I'm like, I'm dying because I'd been there, but his parents didn't know it.
Did he live at home?
I guess it did.
Did he tell you it was his house, but the whole time it was just his parents? I'm glad you didn't end up with this guy. Red flag after red flag.
And another time, I had a date with another guy. And he came to the door. And I had a few dates with him. And we go out to the car, and he opens the back passenger side, the back row.
Like you're an Uber?
And so, I said, "What are you putting me in the back seat?" And he said,
"Oh,
so another one put me in the back seat." And then I noticed there's somebody sitting in the passenger seat in the front, a male.
What? Where are you finding these men?
He said, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, we're double dating."
So you're double dating the two men?
Oh. And he goes, "We have to go pick up his date." And it
Oh.
was his brother. It was brother in the passenger, right in the front.
Okay.
And I'm in the back by myself at that point. And they didn't know exactly where the girl lived, and we had to drive around Forest Avenue of Portland looking for the girl. And, back then...
Well, you couldn't call.
Then she got in the car and couldn't find out she had dated somebody I had dated. I mean, there's lots of little quirky things.
Yeah,
so
I love it.
I do want to continue talking a little bit about the phone thing, because I just want to make it clear that I stayed home waiting for phone calls.
I know, but can you imagine yourself on Tinder? Do you know what Tinder is?
Yes.
Or Hinge or Bumble?
Yes, I do know what they are.
Could you imagine? The world would have been your oyster. Like, the amount of men you went on dates with then, they would have tripled, quadrupled modern times. You would have been, like, swiping, hearting. I would love to see it.
Thank God I didn't live in that time.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I couldn't have taken it. My heart could not have taken it.
No, because you fell in love with every single one of these boys.
No, well, I didn't fall in love with every single one of them. But I did like to go on dates. I liked the idea of, like, getting ready for a date.
Mm-hmm.
One of the weirdest things, or maybe one of the brightest things.
Getting ready for a date is the best part of a date.
Yeah, so
getting ready for a date
is the best part of the date. So the whole idea of, like, taking a bath, and I wish I could go back to that time.
Wait.
What's so funny?
Taking a bath before a date?
Yeah. You want to get cleaned up?
Yeah, by sitting in your own filth.
What? You're going way off unhinged. Talk about hinge.
Talk about hinge. More like unhinged. I'm not a bath girl. I don't like them. They get cold and you're sitting in your own filth.
Well, that's a point. But anyway.
That is the point.
Cleaning yourself up. Putting on a little perfume.
Ooh, that's nice.
Which I used to do.
Yeah.
And I'm allergic to it now.
I still do it.
Yeah, thanks.
I didn't do it today, specifically for you, but I did want to impress the news people. It was hard for me not to spritz.
So, picking out your outfit. And I didn't have a diary, but, well, I did have a diary. What am I talking about?
What? This whole thing has been a lie.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna... All right. Calm down, Lynn. Calm down.
Yeah, I was thinking you need to calm down.
I need to calm down.
Yeah.
So I would write down what outfit I wore on various dates.
I do love that.
Because
that's the best part.
Yeah, and I didn't want to wear the same outfit twice.
Oh!
But if you're dating more than one person at a time, you could like wear the same outfit twice. If you were going out with somebody on a Wednesday night,
if you had a really good outfit,
wear the mini skirt and the top both times if it was two different people.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I was always smart like that.
You're a thinker.
So speaking of smart, one of the primary things I did on my dates was take notes from like Newsweek or Time magazine ahead of the date. I kid you not. So
you'd sound smarter than you actually are?
Well, I was smart. I just couldn't remember anything.
Still true. Wait, I'm just realizing that there's a movie called The House Bunny, and I'm pretty sure that's what she does. She memorizes headlines from the newspaper.
Before she goes on dates?
And she wears glasses that she can't see out of because she wants a specific date. She wants this guy to think she is smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I'd take notes so that I'd know, like, who the Secretary of Treasury was. I think back in Reagan's time it was Burt Vance or something.
Burt Vance?
I think so.
Yes.
Or the Secretary of Defense.
This is so boring. You're boring me.
Or
is this how you spoke on dates? Do you think they were going to quiz you on who the Secretary of Defense was?
I always felt like I had a self-esteem problem. I felt like people didn't think I was smart. And I don't think I thought I was that smart.
Yeah, that's sad.
Believe it or not.
You are literally obsessed with yourself, so I can't imagine that to be true.
Yeah, well, in that case. One time I was out with a bunch of people, and there was a guy. I hadn't dated him. I never dated him, but he was very arrogant, and so I had gotten to know him a little bit, and had a couple of sips of wine, and I said to him, I always thought you saw me as a dumb blonde, just as I flung my arm and I dumped my red wine all over his lap.
Oh,
As I said that.
that's brutal.
It's brutally funny now.
Yeah, that is brutally funny.
Yeah. I'm just realizing I've been telling a lot of stories about myself. It's your turn.
It's my turn?
Yeah.
Well, when you were talking about smart, I was thinking about how this guy, when I was living in Boston, I'd run into him all the time. I think he was like a friend of a friend. But he'd ask me out all the time, and I was not interested, so I'd just be like, no, I'm not interested. And then he cornered me in the Harvard Square T station, and we happened to be getting on the same train, nightmare situation.
Wow.
And he's like, please, go on a date with me. And so, finally, I was like, okay.
You didn't practice saying no?
I did not practice saying no. I guess I did practice saying no.
Oh, yeah.
And then finally, I succumbed to the pressure of a man, which don't do that. And I show up at the bar to meet him, and he has a little cocktail, like in his little cocktail glass, and he's reading fucking Shakespeare. No, thank you. I get the opposite. I'm like, I want to have a stupid date. I don't want to talk about anything smart. Didn't go past that first date.
I want to have a stupid
date. I don't want to be talking about the Secretary of State. I don't want to be reading Shakespeare. Like, what are you doing? You're in your little sweater vest, your glasses, you're at the bar with your cocktail, and you're, oh, no, thank you. Yuck. That's going to be a no from me. So, yeah. You want me to tell more stories about me?
If you have them.
Okay, well, one time, I got them. I have two. Okay, we're gonna go up. This has nothing to do with being smart. This is actually pretty stupid. So one time, my boyfriend took me to it was the first time, maybe the second time I went to his hometown, and he had one of those hometowns in Massachusetts where they'd have like house parties, and everyone in town was there. They all know each other. So I went, and everyone was drinking, and even the moms were there, and like some people are underage. Ooh. But the moms were in like a separate house being like, I don't care. Go do your own thing. And so it was at a camp, and suddenly, my boyfriend's little brother, I think he was 2 years younger than me, kisses me on the damn mouth. And I said, hello? Sir? You are not my boyfriend. And he said, I know. And so, then my boyfriend comes down the hill. I think we're on a dock or something, and there were other people around. I was just, like, flabbergasted. I was like, sir, no, thank you. Though his brother was kind of hot. I did not kiss him back. And I said, your brother just kissed me on the mouth out of nowhere, unprompted. And he said, well, we have the same taste in women. Again, sir? Hello? That's not the response that I'm looking for. Unbelievable. He was a musician, and he wrote a breakup song about me while we were living together.
But broken up.
And I'm just remembering a piece of this. But he played it for me while we were living together in separate bedrooms. He played it for me acoustically. And I just sat there on our shared bed we once had. Well, he played me the breakup song he wrote about me. But to add to this, he puts it on Facebook. And the first person to comment on this, wow, what an amazing song. This is beautiful. My mom. A breakup song about me, a fresh breakup. dying from that. That's karma. The breakup song about me, and my mom's like, oh my god, is this the most beautiful song I've ever heard in my entire life? Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. But then, this song is actually pretty good. I know all the words. And it ended up being the #1 played song on my cousin's iTunes. It still may be. It's been like 10 years.
Wow.
12 years? I don't know. It's been a long time. And I did get permission from said ex-boyfriend to play that song, so I will add that to the end of this episode.
Awesome.
So you can all hear it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. And
because I probably never listened to it again.
Maybe we can get him some streams on that.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Because he's a good musician.
He was a good guy and a good musician. Or he is a good guy and a good musician.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Have you ever had a song written about you? You were dating like more finance bros, not musician types.
I did date a finance guy who was also a guitar player for a while.
Whoa. Well, you proved me wrong.
Yeah, it's just funny that you brought those two things up. But I don't think anybody ever wrote a song about me.
That you know of.
That I know of.
Wouldn't it be amazing to find out that there was a song written about you that you didn't know of?
Oh, God.
Although, like, at the time, that song was extremely sad to me.
Yeah.
But also, I was like, damn, this is a really good song. Too bad I can't listen to this. But now I'm like, damn, someone wrote a song about me.
Yeah. That's
the 4 stages of grief. And now it's like my party trick. I'm like, you guys want to hear the song that my ex-boyfriend wrote about me while we were still living together?
But broken up?
And then I play it at the party. I actually did this recently, and then someone that I was showing it to a group of friends, and one of them was like, I simply cannot stand in here and listen to this. I can't. It hurts me. Not because she was sad about it, it's because she cannot handle, like, the idea that she knew this specific song was about a person she knew. It made her cringe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, talk about a grand gesture.
Yeah.
I never had anything like that happen.
Again, that you know of.
That I know
any ex-boyfriends out there that have written a song about
I do think about ex-boyfriends all of a sudden tuning into this episode.
We should email this anonymously to all of our ex-boyfriends. I think my favorite dating story ever was a story I've already told on the podcast, which had to do with the pagan prom, bringing my boyfriend to a pagan prom. I think it was the first time he met my mom and my stepdad. So go back and listen to our old
do we know what episode that was?
No idea. I don't know what we
don't even know what we've
I don't know.
We try to keep track of that, but
yeah. But yeah, you got any good stories left in yet for this episode?
Well, I was going to continue. I know this is going on and on about the telephone, but I stayed home waiting for calls.
You are literally obsessed with the telephone.
And I also I lived at home into my 20s, sort of, and with my siblings were there too. And so I wanted to make sure I never missed a phone call from a guy. And so I instituted this notebook.
Oh, I love the notebook.
And so it's like diaries. I mean, it's like notebooks. And instead of just random pieces of paper, where we'd leave each other notes, we wrote in the notebook about the notes. And because we think we're a bunch of comedians, all of us, including my dad, not my mom so much, she wasn't that funny in it. Hers were a Lynn. The bathroom has not been cleaned since Thursday. Your grandmother is coming. You need to do this and that, and then do the laundry, and you're cooking tonight, those kind of things.
Yeah.
But my father's and the rest of us were leaving funny notes. But there were several notes, like, an unknown man called for you, Lynn. And then I like, what did his voice sound like? And I don't know.
An unknown man.
An unknown man. And then my dad, I said to my dad one day, found that in my diary recently, I said to my dad, why do you always assume if there's a strange phone call that it's for me? And he laughed. I think we know why.
Yeah, we do know why. Well, I know why now based on your diaries.
Yeah.
Your notebooks are a whole episode we should do.
Right. We should get the original people to read them.
Oh my god.
Well, that would be a little hard, but...
Oh my god, it would be so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
I think I remember there's one about Dad where it was from your brother that was like, Lynn, Bob has called 5 times.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's one where Lorna, my sister, is on the phone with her dad, with whom I was dating at that time.
With her dad?
With your dad.
Oh. I was like, you dated your dad?
No, with your dad.
My dad.
And he was a talker. And
yeah,
my sister just kept...
I wonder where that came from.
Still on the phone with... I think. I'm not making this up. Still on the phone with Bob. Still on the phone with Bob. Still on the phone with Bob. Bob says he's going to take me to such and such place when he gets back from such and such place.
Oh my god, I kind of wish I kept a notebook with all my phone conversations with them.
Yeah.
I used to have to hang up on him.
Yeah.
Because he just wouldn't... I was like, alright, well, he's probably been... After I hung up, I knew he was still talking for the next 5 minutes without realizing I
right.
hung up.
Right, that's true.
Oh, man.
So, I know I'm not supposed to shuffle papers, but just let me look in this for a second.
Okay.
This goes back to the getting ready for a date comment. September 27th, 1977. It is important to be well-read and informed about the world. Imagine writing that as a line in your diary.
Ew.
Like I'm telling myself.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I try to read Time magazine cover to cover. But usually I skip most of the foreign affairs section because of lack of understanding.
I mean, yeah, fair. I did just want to mention that modern times, you would have gotten in so much trouble when you're trying to cyber stalk a new girlfriend of an ex-boyfriend. Because one time, I was doing that, and I dropped my phone on my face, and friend requested her on Facebook.
How do you drop your phone on your face?
You've never dropped your phone on your face? I drop my phone on my face a lot.
That is a problem.
That's when you're like laying and texting in bed, and then you're like, donk.
I can't hold my arms up that long.
Oh yeah, that's why you're safe.
Yeah. So this is a story I never told you. And I don't remember these guys. And it's not really a dating story. They were just some guys we were friendly with. Hold on, I gotta find
friendly with.
I gotta find page 2. I've only got page 1. Oh, here we go. November 25th, 1971. So I was 18. I was in college. We decided to take a ride. I was in a rather crazy mood, so I said we should go to my camp and break in. Understand, I was only kidding. We went to the car lot.
I felt like you were writing that to me from the 70s.
I know. We went to the car lot where Larry's old vehicle was. At one point, Mike said, "This all started when we decided to go to Sebago Lake." I said, "Not Sebago Lake, Crescent." They all looked at me and said, "What?" I asked Mike what he'd said, and he said, "This all started when I had to take a leak."
God.
He didn't say Sebago Lake. He said this. Oh, I don't think we... Do you get it?
No, wait. You thought he said Sebago Lake?
It's poorly written. Okay.
Wait. Whoa. You thought he said Sebago Lake when he said, "I have to take a leak"?
Right. I thought he said, "This all started when we decided to go to Sebago Lake," but what he really said was, This all started when I had to take a leak.
So you just yelled, Crescent Lake!
And then they said, what?
God, it is crazy how much, like, that is something I would do. Aggressively correct someone even though they're like, I'm
And I didn't even know these
taking a
things.
leak. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Here's another one. January 18th, 1973. Have a blind date tonight. Have to walk down to the post office to meet the guy.
Jesus.
Have to walk down to the post office to meet the guy. He wants to, quote, steadily date a college girl.
You can't just choose.
He thought so.
He's like, all right, I'm ready to steadily date, so it's gonna be you.
Yep. He went to UNH for a year and he's 24 and that's all I know. Don't even know what to wear or where we're going. Oh well. Should be interesting.
Was it?
I don't remember.
So no.
And that's a good point. Other things for you?
I don't think so. I feel like I really covered my highlight reel.
Your highlight reel of dating?
But I do think like dating is kind of a theme that continues throughout this podcast.
Yeah.
Whether we like it or not, because most of your diaries are about dating. Boys.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that throughout this season we will be coming up with more stories.
Yeah, I'll have to check in with some of these. If any of my old flames would like to appear on the podcast with your side of the story, please contact us at our website.
And if any of my old flames see this, no, you didn't. You may not come on. It's still too fresh.
That would be so funny if you had, like, we had one of your old flames and one of mine.
Oh my God.
Maybe
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah. I cannot imagine any of mine. I mean, several of them were wonderful, wonderful people, but I don't think they'd want to come on and
spill their guts out.
No, or tell me what an idiot I was when I was dating them.
Yeah, honestly, it would be setting us up for failure.
Yeah.
Like, tell us everything you hated about dating me.
Yeah.
I actually kind of do want to hear that.
I know. Ooh, this could be an
This
idea
could
for a
be
TV show.
Yeah. All right, don't steal that either.
Don't steal that.
Do you think we should wrap up the first
Let's
episode?
wrap it up and put a bow on it.
All right. Oh, I got bows all around. Oh.
Bows. B-E-A-U.
Ah! Put a bow on it.
Put a bow on it.
Ooh, maybe that's the title of that.
Yeah, maybe it
Who
is.
knows? Well, thank you for tuning in to our first episode of season 2. You may see a cameraman walking in and out of frame through some of this if you're watching on YouTube, because we had Channel 8.
Yeah, ABC.
ABC here filming us.
WMTW.
Local to Portland station here filming us while we do this. And yeah, so we can link that if it has already posted. They're going to put it online. So we'll link that in the bio below. And then hang out for a minute and listen to the breakup song written about me. Listen to the breakup song written about me. Well, I was living with my ex-boyfriend.
But broken up.
Hence, ex-boyfriend. Anyways, see you in a couple of weeks with our next episode.
Thank you for listening all the way through to the end.
Yeah, we appreciate you. And let us know how the new setup is and if you like the sound better.
Yeah.
Well, we like to...
Where do they let us know? They email us?
I don't know. No, they can comment down below.
Oh, yeah, comment down below.
Comment down below. And also like and subscribe.
That's all, folks.
That's like and subscribe, and also leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening to this, because that will help us get advertisements so we can make money. Also, who wants to sponsor this podcast? Huh? Anyone? Any takers? All right. We love you.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 1 of season 2 of My Mother's Diaries. We had so much fun with this episode. Thank you to Megan Trezousin from WMTW for interviewing us today, and to Ryan, the camera guy, who you may see running around in our little video here if you're watching on YouTube. And thank you to Dead Gowns for our new intro song, Kid One, We Are Obsessed. And lastly, thank you to Josh Como, who allowed me to put our breakup song on the internet for everyone to hear. Stay tuned to hear that song now. Thanks. Bye.
Slide back into my arms, the weather's getting cold. I thought I heard her song on the radio. Are you falling apart or am I the only one? Well, kiss me, but please don't let me know that you'll be missing me. Amongst the wreckage of her old CDs, I can still taste the ocean on my tongue. Silence in between, your words are killing me. I didn't want to wait, but I just can't sleep. The ghost of you is stuck in between the bed sheets. A sigh's all I used to know, never gave it a thought. And time is moving slow, but it's time to move on. A million little strings from the things that you do, and all the things I never told you. Sideways, did you really even care? Now I'm here and you're out there. Should I have reason to be scared? Floating, now I'm back at the start. And that's exactly where you are, hiding somewhere between the stars. Slide back into my arms, the weather's getting cold.